in January.
The update presented by the Sportscast.
Pennsylvania. Hold on. I hear some music in the background.
Oh, you do?
Out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the Jersey Boy Sportscast. I thought I heard some music in there. Welcome. Brought to you by the Sportscast. We are here live on StreamYard, streaming through YouTube and Facebook, Stitcher, Spotify, the Jersey Boy Sportscast. Remember to subscribe to all our channels, all your social media channels. And please, we also have our podcast, the Jersey Boy Sports Talk. Subscribe, leave us a review. It'll help us out tremendously. Today is June. Man, I'm messing every J, Byron. I'm tired. Today's January 11th, 2024. We got an exciting end of the NFL season with some games we're going to talk about. We had a lot of coach firing, some key matchups last week, and some key matchups coming up. We got a special guest, and now I got to keep this in unison so I can make sure I can let whoever comes in come in. So let's go on. How you doing today, Byron?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Good. How's the weather?
It's nice. It was 50 degrees today. I was shocked.
Oh man, that's
like a heat wave.
It's a heat wave. Yeah, it's raining. It's raining over here. So hopefully there's no more tornado. Hey, let's let Papa Paul in from. Go ahead.
Well, we did have a flood the other day, but that's another story. Another one's coming tonight anyway.
Another one. Oh, well, it floods here anytime it rains. So hold on a second. Let's get Papa Paul in. Added to the stage, Papa Paul from WCFL, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you doing, Papa Paul?
I'm above ground and upright. That's all that matters.
All right, that sounds good. Are we going to be able to see you today?
No, my camera stopped working.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what happened last time. We got to help you out over there. Well, I'm going on StreamYard, so I'm figuring out all the pieces. Got to remember the banner, get the banner going. Let's go. Boom.
Yep.
I think there you go. It's Jersey Boys, right? All right. So we got a lot to talk about. So let's get started first. And we're going to talk, Papa Paul, we're going to talk to you about a little bit about your show and tell us about your game. We're going to get to that. But let's start off with Giants. Before we get into the game, a lot of firings, Byron, huh?
A lot of coaches.
How many coaches?
7 they're up to with the NFL, and then the Giants. We fired a quarter of the staff, so we're on a roll too.
Well, that's what I meant. Let's focus on the Giants.
Oh yeah,
Giants finally got rid of the offensive line coach.
Out.
You got to, bro. You got to agree with at least that one.
The special teams coach out.
Wink Martindale left.
Well, he kind of left under kind of crazy circumstance because his two boys got his guys got fired. So then he had a tantrum. So he jumped on a plane. He probably down there in Sarasota, Florida, next to you, and he took off. And then he came back, and supposedly they worked out something, where he could just go and coach because they held his rights. So if they could be real, if they want to be real sticklers, you know what? You can't coach anywhere. You're still on contract because you resigned, and you know what? You can't coach anywhere, and you're not going to get your $3 million. So he's not getting $3 million, but he can't coach anywhere.
This is Wink.
Yes.
So Wink had a tantrum because his sons were coaching.
No. His right hand man that he brought from Wilkins of the Wilkins brothers that he brought with him from the Baltimore Ravens. So the first two to go were after the other two were them. They were next one. He was the outside linebacker coach, and I think the other one was like his assistant. As far as like helping him put in packages, the packages with the defense and all this other stuff. So they were the first two that got the chopping block. So that when he called them in, I guess Wink to talk about it. I fired your guys. They're out. Then he flipped out and whatever, and cursed out Dable allegedly and took off.
Well, not for nothing. They underperformed that defense this year.
I don't know what's up with this guy because he did the same thing in Baltimore Ravens where he got temper tantrum and whatever, and basically it's like what, we're not gonna yeah, you can just go. But then look where the defense is ranked. Defense is ranked in the 20s, like 27, 28. They're in the top five, as far as like turnovers and stuff. But the outside linebackers underperform. Thibodeau got a lot of sacks. He got a lot of sacks, but they were poor against the run. All three of them. They're all three of them ranked in the bottom 70s. 71, 78 as far as ranking with outside linebackers. So yeah, they had to go too.
Thibodeau had his moments, but we started the season with the number one Russian line with the nose tackle and the tackle, and that didn't work out. We just looked bad overall. So I think
well he is all pro. He is all pro now.
We have to who is?
Dexter. He got named all pro.
Oh, good. But didn't he leave?
No, that was the other guy, Leonard.
Okay, that's Leonard left. Okay, so the deal is look, even with our win, I'm glad we cleaned house. I think that we need change because they didn't look good. They were really, really bad. I don't think it can get any worse. So if Wink is throwing tantrums, you would assume that dovetails into the players. Hey, Papa Paul, can you unmute yourself? Because I muted you, and I thought I would be able to unmute.
No, I muted it.
Oh, you muted it? Okay.
Yeah, because the dogs were barking.
Yeah, I heard the dogs. But I mean, the Giants had to do something. I mean, Papa Paul, you know how we felt. You guys are coming on your show. I was pretty open and blatant about how terrible we felt the Dolphins were. Even my co-host Byron. Have you met Byron before, right?
Yeah.
You were on our show last time.
Yeah.
And we're pretty ferocious. You know how we were talking about being objective and Homer and and Pam was she's straight up telling you she'll say she's a Homer, and God bless her, that's what she says. But at the end of the day, for us, we're gonna New York fans will call you out. I mean, we'll boo you in the same quarter, and we'll cheer you in the same quarter. Is that correct, Byron?
Yes, it is.
I mean, and it's worse in the Yankee Stadium. In the same innings are shorter than quarters, right? So I mean, it's just ferocious in the New York market. So I'm kind of glad we're cleaning house. Let's see what we can do.
But we did have a bright light today. A bright light. They signed offensive line coach from the Las Vegas Raiders, Carmen Bersilio. I think that's how you pronounce his name. That is a very good signing. Very good. Very good. I'm happy with that one. I'm going to live with that guy.
I'm happy that you're happy, and I'm happy that if it's an upgrade or anything that can help our offensive line, we've been talking about it for 4 years since our show's been running. Yes?
Yeah.
Start from the inside out, and it has not been fixed.
For years.
Right? It's a problem, right? I mean, Papa Paul, you got to agree with offensive line. How important is that to your team, to the Dolphins?
Extremely important, and our offensive line did what they needed to do to make it, but I still think our offensive line needs a lot of work.
And so imagine that's a team. What was your record this year?
11-6.
11-6, and that's a team that's 11-6. And imagine even you guys still had a pretty high-powered offense. What happens if that offense and Mostert was running well? What happens if that offense upgrades just like another 15-20%?
Oh, we'd be number one seed more than likely.
Right. So that's how important.
The biggest thing that gets me, they created the offensive line for Miami to work with Tua to protect him long enough to get that 2-second throw out there.
Right.
If our offensive line was good enough to give them the 4, 5, 6 seconds like some of the teams' offensive lines are, then it'd be a totally different story for us. We'd have plenty of time for him to check the field out instead of just 1-2 throw.
Well, look at poor DeVito. DeVito played 5 games and he averaged 5 sacks per game, right, Byron?
Yeah, well, I think we were 85 sacks, 86, or some crazy number.
86 sacks. I mean, that in a regular season, right? I thought it was bad when the Bengals gave up 70 sacks when they gave up, and 20 of those were in the playoffs with poor Burrows. Imagine giving up 86 sacks in the regular season. I mean, I don't think any quarterback can sustain that.
Well, I understand that, yeah, because I think we're either like the second fewest sacks on Tua
Mhm.
for
Yeah,
the whole league.
but he's also getting rid of the ball fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. If
Yeah.
he had time to scan the field, if he had the extra 2-3 seconds
Mhm.
to scan the field, he'd be more dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
isn't their offense geared to for him to get the ball out of his hand and then make his playmakers like Waddle and Hill, because you want these
But
guys to catch it on
I
the run.
yes and no. I mean, the defense has already picked up on all that, and in actuality, we're using 4 or 5 play receivers, tight ends a game. We have the players that can play to where we should be passing the ball around to 8 or 9 different players a game, not just 4 or 5. We
right.
need to spread the ball around a little bit more. Speed is great, but it's not everything.
Well, it's not great when it doesn't help with 2 to 3 seconds either, right? Because it doesn't give you enough. I
Well,
mean, it's
and
only
that's another thing with the 2 to 3 seconds.
nobody's running a 3 second 40-yard dash, right?
But
Well,
with
no, but you got
the throw, what he's doing is spot throwing, and
Mhm.
defenses are catching on to that. So when you end up like that last interception of this last week's game, when he threw that ball to Claypool, Claypool did, first of all, from what I've been told and what I've learned, Claypool didn't cut soon enough for one, and two, Claypool's slower than the rest of the guys. Slower than Tua or I mean Hill or Waddle or Mostert or Achan. So it was. I mean, he threw it to a spot, but Claypool was nowhere near that spot.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get to the Dolphin game pretty soon. So let's keep going down here and through the NFC East. All right. So the Giants, we got that cleaning up. Very interesting. What did you think about the game, Byron? Regarding look, I picked the Falcons. I mean the Falcons. I picked the Eagles. I didn't look. I said it all year, and you correct me if you like, but I've been saying it all year. The Eagles have not been playing well to their potential, and that the saying of "you are what your record says." They were 11-1. They lost in December, right? Now what? They're 11-6. Lost the NFC East Championship, and then get stomped by the Giants. I mean, that was surprising to me. What were your thoughts, Byron?
Yeah, you can kind of see it come. They haven't been, like you said, they haven't been playing well, at all. The Eagles. It came out this week that their superstar run stuffer Jordan Davis has been getting fined every week for being overweight. Because they're sitting there saying he's probably about 370 pounds and he shouldn't be that big. The offensive line, defensive line, they had over 70 sacks last year. They only got like 38 this year. The corners are old and slow, like I've been saying.
You've
Slay,
been
has to play.
you've been saying that
Slay hasn't
every
played the
game.
last couple.
Every game you've been saying that.
But it's even worse now. It's worse, and they're not. We kept all year. We've been saying, all right, when are you going to turn the switch? When are you going to turn the switch? When are you going to turn the switch? Okay, now to get ready to go to playoffs. And they were even talking about that around here, saying, all right, well, the playoffs are here. We're going to turn the switch now, and things are going to get better. Nah, they've let the New York Football Giants, as bad as they are, was 24-0. 24-0. And the Giants kind of let up the gas a little bit. They could have, they should have scored a little bit more, but that was against the New York Giants. And then the week before, look at the Cardinals beat them. This is supposed to be the elite team in the NFC East. They're one and done. And they should be ashamed of themselves. Letting the Giants put all those points on them.
Listen, the Giants beat them 27-10.
Yes.
Okay, and then the stats are this. Okay, we got 415 yards of offense against
the
Giants against their 299. We had 22 first downs of 19. That's not that big. I'm just going to give key statistics. They allowed 5 sacks from our Giants. We gave up 2, which is still normal, right? Time of possession, we had the ball for over almost 6 minutes longer. Okay, and then passing yards, we threw for 306 yards. How many times have we been saying they've been giving up 200-300 yards passing? I mean, you can't. There's no way you're not, unless it's a miracle or there's some motivational speech Sirianni has. They're going to lose in the first. I got them to lose in the first round, dude.
Really?
I got them to lose against the Bucs.
And
Paul, what are your thoughts?
That's interesting because I was actually thinking that earlier that they could possibly lose against the Bucs. Yeah.
Just think about the Bucs have great receivers, man. It's not, and Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback. He's not.
But they got Mike Evans, who is a superstar.
They got great receivers. I mean, you got Mike Evans. You got who's the other one? Chris Godwin, right? Godwin. I think got a pretty good tight end. I mean, they got a core of receivers that can play.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it's gonna go. It's gonna be because of their defense. Remember 2 years ago what happened when the Philadelphia Eagles played Tampa Bay, get ready to go, and what they do? They blitzed him all over the place. He threw a whole bunch of interceptions. Jalen Hurts, when he played that same team, and a couple of those guys are still there, on that defense. And Bowles, what is he gonna do? What is he known for? Pressure defense. The same thing that Wink did to the Eagles. You don't think they got the blueprint? Make him run to the left. Make Jalen run to the left, and look what happens. They
got good. 5 weeks of blueprints.
Yeah,
they lost. Yeah. Before going into this 5-game stretch in December, we felt Dallas had a tougher schedule than the Eagles. There's no reason that the Eagles should win. Right? No problem. Right? We had the Giants twice, you had the and you had the Cardinals. Those 3 games alone, we were giving it to the Eagles. Right? You're not gonna. I'm sorry. Unless there's some miracle there, I don't think you could turn that around just like that. Even though everybody starts 0-0. Everyone wants to bring up the 9-7 Giants. I went back and looked. The Giants were on a three-game win streak going into the playoffs.
Yeah,
and what they do the last game, they played their guys.
They played their guys.
Like most people rest. They played.
Eli played. They didn't rest. They went into the playoffs knowing 9-7 as a wild card, and They went through Green Bay. They went through. The Patriots. So I just it's sad to say, but again, I just don't. Something's wrong in that organization. They were a bad 11-1 team, and now they're a bad 11-6 team. Go ahead, Papa Paul. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just I was thinking about the same thing with Baltimore Ravens, how they let all their starters rest, and then they have a week off on top of that.
Yeah, Byron's got. I think it's got some information on that because I asked. Byron's great at. He's always put some stuff together. So we're going to do a test. We'll bring that up in a little bit. But anyhow, I'm sorry to hear that. And then given Dallas, how much we don't like Dallas. Now Dallas has got home field advantage for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Which may break their one and done. But I still think until they prove us wrong, I still believe they're a one and done team. I don't think they played that great. But they're really good at home, and they're really good at home. So far, everybody's playing way better home than they are away. Nobody's really playing that well away because the Dolphins are good at home. The Bills are good at home. Dallas is good at home. So all the teams that are going into that home field advantage is key, right? And getting that bye, obviously, but these guys didn't get a bye. All right. So we got there. We talked about the Giants and what's going on there. Let's move on. We talked about Philly and the Giants and Philly. Who do you have against Philly and the Bucs, Byron?
Buccaneers.
Yeah. Papa Paul?
I'm gonna have to say the Bucs.
All right. So then now we got Dallas, right? So We got Dallas coming up. Dallas is playing home, which they're 8-0, but they should have lost to Detroit. And that was at home, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was that was
That was
a
a terrible
yeah.
game.
Interesting.
So they're playing the Packers, right? And the Packers offense is okay. I think they're rolling. I think their defense is suspect. Byron.
Yeah, the defense a little suspect, but the Jordan Love, the successor to that guy, has played very well. And they
Yes.
do have yeah, they have two good running backs. Dylan and Aaron Jones, I think the kid's name is. So I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Cowboys at all. It's just
Well,
that they have to play a little bit better defensively.
the one and two, they should take the blueprint that the Bills did, right? But Josh Allen threw 7 passes. If their run game is as good as like you're saying, then attack the same way the Bills did, right? Just go
Run
right
the
after it. Run the
run
ball
the ball
because
because they're a little.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, Dallas is a little weak. The run defense is a little suspect.
And Dak is not good from playing from behind, right? So that's number one. So get a good jump. Papa Paul, remember when I had some of the keys of victories I was saying for the Dolphins again when you guys beat Dallas was what? Was don't turn the ball over. Don't give Dallas any defensive scores. Don't give them any opportunity to have a short field. And
100%. Yeah.
and
I
it,
mean,
and you guys played it to a T to the point that you ran it down their throat to run it with 0 seconds left to win the game.
yep.
Right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
and that all played out. I mean, because I was on your show when we were talking about that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like just don't give them any edge. Don't make a mistake. Be great. And you guys were still not fully. You still had some injuries. You got worse injuries
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah. We're depleted with injuries right now.
Yeah, you're hurting. You're getting injured at the worst time. But Dallas against Green Bay again. Let's just hope Green Bay runs, and we'll see what happens. But Dallas likes winning that first game. If they win the first game, Byron, who are they playing next? I'm trying to look at the bracket. I can't find the bracket.
Probably 49ers.
I know they're playing. No, they can't be playing 49ers because I think they got 2 home games. So they'll be playing NFC wild card, NFL. They're going to probably play the winner of the Bucks in the Eagles at home. So their road isn't that difficult. Yeah, if they win, that road isn't tough. And then let's get to the Commanders. This ain't a surprise. We talked about it. As much as I like Ron Rivera, we knew he was going to be let go. Any thoughts on that, Byron?
He was doomed for the start. When they traded away both of their edge rushers, Mr. Turnover wasn't playing well. How he did have 4,000 yards passing, but he still threw a little bit too many interceptions. The defense is suspect, the offensive line. It just seemed like when you have a new ownership group coming, they're going to want that guy. That he should have knew that was coming from the beginning. He fired a friend Del Rio during the season, and it still didn't help anything. The only thing I want to see happen is Eric Bieniemy get a job somewhere, because he did change the offense. They were a lot better, but he was doomed from the start. Once they got a new ownership.
Well, they look, and Papa, I like to hear you in this, but Byron, we talked about this. Somewhere along the line, Bieniemy's got to get a shot because you got to give him credit somewhere, right? He went and took a bad, Washington team with Sam Howell, throws for 4,000 yards, and yes, he threw interceptions. He leaves Kansas City, and Kansas City's biggest problem is what? Their receivers.
Yeah.
Right? So he has to fall into that mix somewhere. Like they didn't want to give him credit because Andy Reid's calling the offense. I thought you said it best last week when you go, well, that's because it was good cop, bad cop. Andy Reid would coddle him. Eric Bieniemy would be tough because Papa Paul, I don't know if you remember when it came out that the receivers were complaining on a Bieniemy that he was too tough on them and he was a tyrant. And then,
I remember that.
Kansas City defended him. All the receivers, even Tyreek Hill defended him. So now he's not at Kansas City, there's no one to hold those receivers accountable, and they're playing terrible.
Yep.
They're dropping passes that are in their
Dropping
hands,
passes.
and then Bieniemy goes and puts them up. So we'll stop there. But any thoughts on that about Bieniemy's? One, Howell 4,000 yards. Two, Kansas City's receivers, Byron.
Well, we talked about it before. It was a whole good cop, bad cop. You can see now that he would hold these guys accountable, and like you said, Andy Reid would coddle them, and all right, whatever, but you could see that they did miss, the thing, that element that he brought, to that team, as far as him being the offensive coordinator or whatever you want to call him, a title. And like I said, I hopefully he gets a job. Let's go for him.
Yep, up the ball.
He deserves a job. I mean, he really does. He deserves a head coaching job. Really, I mean, you got to be tough on these guys. You can't let them get away with murder and stuff. And it's really that's what they're doing over in Kansas City. They're not taking accountability for anything, so they're just doing what they're doing.
All right, so let's get to the Bills and the Dolphins game. All right, I know, and I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to. I was going to come down and see you, Papa Paul. So I apologize I wasn't get there, but it was raining really bad, and Santiago was going to come pick me up. But then, did he show you a picture of that tornado that hit like a block away from my house?
No, I got to chat with him for a minute and stuff, but I had a friend of mine who showed me the tornado and stuff.
Okay, that was like a block away from my house. So I'm glad he didn't come this way because it was really bad and so forth. So I apologize. I really wanted to come and see you guys, that you guys made that trip down here. But let's get to the Dolphin and the Bills game, right? A couple of things that I want to bring up, and then I'll let you go. Then we'll go to Byron. All right. Remember, I had talked on your show. One of the keys to victory, I thought, for the Dolphins was control Josh Allen. Don't let him run. Right? Do not let that kid run. He runs, he gets control over a few things, and that kind of he was able to put some yards running, right? You guys also
more so the second half. The first half we had him flustered where he threw the two interceptions. Josh Allen flustered, he throws an interception.
There is no, and we agree with that too. Get him flustered, he's going to make mistakes. He's a gunslinger, right? We stated that too, and I'm going to get to that, but you could see what happened. In total offense, they put up 473 yards. I will tell you that not watching the game and only to win by 7, I thought the Dolphins, were doing pretty well, especially with the injuries you guys have. Because I thought it was going to flip with all those injuries happening during the game and so forth. I thought it was going to be a blowout, right?
Well, there's two things to look at. First of all, the defense did hold them to just 14 points. The other 7 came from special teams.
Yes, on the punt return. Yes.
Okay. Now, that one touchdown, I think it was the first touchdown that Sherfield met. There's a lot of little controversy on that,
right? Because
it could have been illegal man's downfield, especially once the ball got tipped.
No, I understand.
None of that was seen or called, but it was just. But I also blame our coaches. The second half they laxed off. We didn't run the ball, but like 3 times the whole second half.
Yeah,
it's what was working.
You had 108 yards. Well, the thing was, though, if you look on paper, you wouldn't think that this game was only a 7-point game, because total yards was 473 for Buffalo, 275 for the Dolphins. Passing was 345 to 167. Rushing was 128 to 108. That was close, right? 26 first downs to 16. That's big. You had 77 plays versus 48 plays. You guys sacked them 3 times, and that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive with the defense that you guys had. You know, you had lost a lot of guys, right?
And we lost more.
You got 2 TDs and a fumble, right? They had the ball for, oh my God, 17 minutes. They had the ball for over a quarter and 2 minutes longer than the Dolphins, and you still won. You still lost by only 7 points.
And honestly, we shouldn't have lost at all. We did nothing the second half. We played it too safe the second half.
Mm-hmm. I got a Facebook user that every time they ran, when you say they, Facebook user, they run the ball, we would lose yards. I'm assuming that's a comment because he made a comment to the Dolphins.
Well, that's something that we've discussed before. Is stop running the freaking ball east and west. Run it north and south. Go up the middle. Stop trying to go around the edge.
Exactly. So I said there, I see him say hello, Michael. Byron, what are your thoughts on the game? I mean, because that's a lot of yards, both in possession of time, 17 minutes. That's the longest I've seen. And then 2, giving up that many yards, but only losing by 7. And like Papa Paul said, on a punt return. Nice punt return, though, but a punt return.
Yeah.
And the guy ran into his player. That's what opened that lane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody knows that the Buffalo Bills go wherever Josh Allen's going to carry him. Everybody knows that he's the guy, and we said 1,000 times. He's a gunslinger. He's going to put the ball in harm's way. He's going to do all kind of stuff. For the most part, the Dolphins did take Stephon Diggs, out of the game. He wasn't, a big factor at all. Even though a lot of the Miami Dolphins, between the corners and the linebackers and the edge rushers, it's like a walking wounded. Everybody's hurt. I remember watching one play where they had Melvin Ingram had dropped to try to cover the running back coming out, and I'm pretty sure that's probably the first time he's probably covered somebody in 10 years. And you feel bad, that they lost, by basically special teams.
We lost so many people. Well, we lost AVG that game. We lost Baker again, both out for the rest of the year. And who else was there? Can't think. But I mean, we are so depleted from injuries at the wrong time of the year.
Yeah,
it's amazing that we're doing anything really.
And then you
Josh,
I think you signed.
Go ahead.
I think you signed Justin Houston off the scrap heap, and it was another. It's 2 of them that the guys that basically haven't played all year, and they had to, sign these 2. And I think it's a third that they got just because they ran.
Yeah, they're scrambling. Yeah, they're scrambling to get any type of defensive players out there for anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And hope they can.
You have Melvin Ingram dropping back to cover somebody. Yeah, it's not good.
No. That's why I'm saying it's impressive. It's impressive they only lost by 7, because I'm telling you, if you look at it on paper, if I told you this team put up 400 something yards versus 200 something, had the ball for 17 minutes, there's no way you're going to tell me that game was a 7-point difference.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah, I would have said it was a blowout, right? So for the Dolphins were in it the entire time, and but Josh Allen did rush for 67 yards, and he had a key run when he needed it, and that's the problem, But
and that 67 yards, I'm pretty sure about 50 of that was the second half.
Everything was in the second half. Everything was in the second half because you had everything. They were in the red zone like 3 times, and he gave up the ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you did your job. The problem is you get tired. You know what I mean? You didn't have the backups. You didn't have the players.
The defense was out there. The defense was out there way too long.
17 minutes.
That's a long time playing defense.
That's a long time playing defense.
That's a long time to be out there.
Oh, I trust me. I know. It was ridiculous.
Hey, how you doing, Crazy Dolphin? Thank you for joining
Mr.
the show.
Polk.
They're saying Papa Paul and panel. They're shooting for their Dolphins. Awesome. So anyhow, it was the numbers were deceiving. I thought Dolphins played the best they could play with the injuries. It's just, man, people were just going down like flies. And I'll be honest, you know, the sad part about this for me is the person that, Byron and I talked about last year and this year was always Tua.
Yeah.
He's the only one that's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, we were killing him
and it's crazy. It's crazy.
He's the guy but even with him, with all those guys hurt, Tua being healthy makes a big difference. If Tua was injured and you had all the other guys there, I think you'd have a bigger problem. I think you got a problem, but I just think Tua makes a big difference. I'm glad that he made it through all 17 games. I'm really, really happy for him. You know what I mean?
Good. It's going to be a real interesting offseason for us.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Well, right now, let's stick to the playoffs, right? So,
yeah,
you guys got coming up. Let's see,
Kansas City Saturday night,
in the cold.
Not just cold. They're talking around kickoff at like up to negative 20 degrees.
It's an 8 o'clock game.
Woo, it's going to be cold in there, boy. Oh, my God, it's going to be cold.
I mean, with the wind chill, they're talking at 8 o'clock. They're talking it's going to be like 5 degrees with the wind chill like a negative 12.
Yeah, that's not good.
How? I mean, one thing I could see happening right now, because especially if they don't change the location, is that
doing that.
Well, they don't do that. You could see fans that show up that something happens to them, whether it's frostbite or anything. There's going to be lawsuits.
Nah, man, they played like that.
Yeah. Wait a minute. How many people out there are so sue hungry these days? It doesn't matter who they are or where they are. Something happens to them, they want to sue over it. Don't tell me something like that won't happen.
Yeah, but they're going to turn around and tell them, well, you had an option not to go to the game. That should, if it's that cold for you, don't go. They're going to throw that right out.
Yeah,
no,
it's a conditioned game. I don't know if I've ever seen a lawsuit because they play cold
I'm
games
sure
in Chicago. Green Bay's cold.
There's never been a game this cold in the history of NFL.
Oh,
because they're looking at
Green Bay.
They're looking at
Green Bay, Dallas in the 60s. It was cold.
People didn't sue people back then.
Yeah, you're right. And then when the Giants played Green Bay, when Coughlin's face almost fell off,
But I mean, you're talking negative 22 degrees up to.
The coldest temperature was the Ice Bowl, negative 13 degrees. That was when Bart Starr was playing, 1967.
Yeah, and they're talking negative 22, which is if you're talking on a game where they tell people to stay inside, and they want everybody out there.
Well, you got an option. Don't go.
Well, yeah, you have an option, but they're going to say. I mean, there could be all kinds of things going on that was inhumane. For them to be playing out there and expecting because NFL is expecting fans to be there.
Yeah, yeah, but you really can't, like to turn around and move. When do they play again? Like
it's gonna come down to if they have a good lawyer or not, or if they.
Morgan will be there on the sidelines for you.
I would love being that. You know how much black brandy will be sold and chocolate. Hot chocolate.
Oh yeah. Well, I agree with you on that, but at the same time, once that brandy starts wearing off, that's when you start really getting cold.
Yeah,
but they're saying the temperature is expected to be
because they close everything down on the third quarter.
Temperatures expected to be around 5 degrees with a wind chill approaching negative 30.
Negative what you say?
Negative 30.
Negative 30.
Wow, yeah, that's a little much.
That's when your news people are telling if you don't have to go anywhere, stay home, stay inside.
Yeah, but can you imagine them trying to move that game? Like say the indoor stadium where the Colts. So now you got to all that stuff with Kansas City and all the stuff in Miami's got to go to Indianapolis. They got logistics. It'd be a nightmare for them to try to move that game at the last minute or play it later. Where then they're gonna have to shift everything around. Everything's gonna have to be shifted around if they did something like that.
They got 2 days.
Yeah, that's kind of short for them.
They knew this was coming though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, the coldest game was Dallas, like you said, Packers Dallas Ice Bowl -13. So this one is a lot colder.
But Cincinnati played in a cold game like that too.
Well, I can tell you this: they play there.
At the
There's
end of
not
the
going
day,
to be hardly.
at the end of the day, though, it's either there's going to be suits or not, but there's still going to be a game to be played. So,
well, and at the end of the day, I don't see that ball being passed a whole lot.
Yeah, probably it'd be stuck to your hand by then.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to Leonard Fournette.
You wet the ball a little bit and wet your hand a little bit, put them together. That ball ain't coming out your hand.
Nah, it's gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do. To be honest with you, it's just all I know is just 2 things, right? If it was to be, I'll get off the suit piece for a second, but real quick, if there is a suit, one, the Kansas City fans, I can see
they're
Dolphin
giving
fans
away.
suing. I can see Dolphin fans suing. I can't see Kansas City fans suing.
They got their tickets on sale at lowest prices ever.
Really?
50-yard line.
Playoff
game, 50-yard line, lower seats you can get for $200.
Byron, you want to go?
Wow.
You can get end zone seats. You can get end zone seats, lower level end zone.
I'll pay for the tickets.
You can get lower level end zone seats for $106.
I'll pay for lower level end zone seats for $106. Two seats. Me and you, Byron.
Yeah, I could pay and sit in my own house and be warm. Man,
I mean, the third level.
I want
seats
some Kansas City steak.
The third level seats are going for $40.
That's interesting. So 2 things, right? They may not have people showing up, right?
I don't see Kansas City having that home field advantage with the noise.
No, but they're going to have the home field advantage playing in the cold.
That's about it. But yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But I mean, it could change from here to then. But as of right now, it's expected wind chill to be a -30. That's crazy.
And they can't postpone it till Monday, like somebody was saying, because they're saying it's supposed to be even colder on Monday.
They shouldn't play the game at night. Then they should move it up, if anything. You know what I mean?
I agree with you on that.
Move it up during the day. I mean, it's still going to be cold, but
it's still going to be cold, but it's not going to be -30.
When you're at 8 p.m. at night, it gets colder the dark. The later it gets.
Oh yeah, they should make it a noon game.
Well, we'll see what happens. And who do you got out injured? Who's now? How you feeling from an injury? You guys are still hurt. Waddles I think is out. No,
Waddle's questionable. Mostert's questionable.
No, most of us in a boot. I don't think he's going to play. I don't think most is going to play at all. And it's sad. I'd like to see him. I would like to see a full Miami team this year, especially with Tua playing all year. You know what I mean?
You can't say that run. Look, Tyreek Hill was in a boot just last week too. Yeah. Before the Bills. So don't say Mostert's. It's anything's possible.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we got Browns and Texans. CJ Stroud, you got to give it credit. Byron, this is the first Ohio State quarterback I could actually say that it looks pretty good. Would you agree?
Yeah,
I really like Stroud.
I like him, but I will tell you, it's the Browns at Texans. Flacco's playing good ball. They got a really good defense. It's still the Texans. He's a rookie.
And the Browns have been balling out lately.
So what do you got? Who do you got? Paul?
I'm picking the Browns on this one. I love the Texans with CJ Stroud, but I got to go with the Browns on this one.
Byron?
I'm going to Browns. They got an elite defense.
Yeah, I would concur. I think the Browns, but man, it's just hard for me to. It's really hard for me to go against C.J. Stroud. As much as we've been giving heat
I
to Ohio State quarterbacks, that kid just seems to keep pulling things out. They're playing at home, but that Flacco's playing not just okay football; he's playing really good football,
Jersey
and
guy.
and you combine that with a really good defense. I mean, I think the Browns got the edge there.
Eric Winters is out there watching. I just go on to ask him what happened to your Eagles, Eric.
Eric, is it cold? He's
Cold
been
as
quiet.
shark.
He's been quiet because last week I didn't see him because I was at full screen. When you're at full screen, you can't see everything, so I got to
Yeah.
keep it at like
He
I got to
just
keep it
texted
at
me, so he
banner
might,
screen.
he just
I got to
texted me,
keep
so
it.
he might be trying to get it.
Yeah, so I got to. Byron, I don't know how you're looking at it. I don't know if you see You see the comments and stuff.
I see the comments and everything the way I
Yeah.
have it
So
set up.
so what happens is when you go full screen, everything disappears.
Well, see, I never go full screen.
Oh, here comes Eric now. There you go. Why go full screen? Because to me, it's so tiny. See, I got my guy.
Oh, there you go.
There's Mr. Winters.
Speaking
Yo,
of the
listen,
Falcons,
we got our hoodies on. You know what we about to do. We about to come in and tear everything up. What y'all talking about?
okay.
A little bit of everything.
Your hoodie
happened,
is
what happened
your
to
hood,
those
your hoodie.
Philadelphia Eagles?
Byron, where'd you go? Your hoodie ain't gonna help you at negative 30 degrees.
What are you talking about? We're not playing at negative 30 degrees.
No,
we're just-
Miami and
the
Kansas
conversation
City.
we were having about Kansas City and Miami playing in Kansas City at 8 p.m. Wind chills expect to be
Man,
negative 30.
I don't know how they're gonna do it, but you know they're gonna pull it off. Somebody, somebody gonna get sick. Somebody gonna be sick, rather if they win or lose. Somebody getting sick.
Byron, where'd you go? Eric came on and you left.
Did I knock him out?
No, you didn't knock him out. I don't see his video camera. His microphone is there.
He was excited. Y'all won this past weekend.
Papa Paul got a
Critical
question for
reader.
you. What's the question you got for him?
Well, I want to know what happened with your Eagles.
Well, nothing. I mean, it's the last game of the season. I mean, the guys, they did what they
And,
supposed to do.
oh, they lost the division.
Man, we was gonna lose the division no matter how you look at it. It wasn't made for us to make.
At least you weren't the only ones. We lost it too.
Yeah, you guys did, didn't y'all? You know what? I watched it, but I really didn't. Like,
I mean, I know.
The last play that I
I
saw
know
was when
Saul's
Tyreek
been
got
giving
hurt.
you hell. I know Saul's been giving you hell.
no, he didn't, because I was asking about you guys' trip down there, and he was telling me all about the trip and how nice it was. And although I think I was on your show, but I just didn't jump in. I heard you guys were talking about the Buffalo fans down there. They wasn't acting up. They was just a lot more fans than you guys expected.
Well,
They're all over the place.
They were all over the place. We talked about how the so-called Dolphin fans sold their tickets to Buffalo fans.
Well, I mean, I heard a little bit of it, but I didn't stick around.
Yeah, and we basically said that they sold their tickets thinking, I'm going to need the money for the playoffs. Well, they gave away home field advantage doing all that. Now they they have money, but no playoffs.
It's the South Florida fans, man. They sell their. I mean, I don't understand. If it's a playoff game, I ain't selling my tickets. I'm going.
Let me get to another space in the house. I'm gonna call you. I mean, jump right
Call back in. Yeah. So that was funny. Byron, remember the other day? They said I never heard of an eagle, a cardinal beating an eagle.
Yeah. Yep.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny. All right, so we got that going on. I just, I don't know what he's gonna come back with, but I just think that the Eagles are just having a tough time. Bills, Steelers at Buffalo. What do you got, Byron?
Buffalo.
Yeah, I got Buffalo too.
No, I got to go with the Steelers on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo's going to be a one and done again.
Well, one and done means this one's 0 and done. So they have to win one first, right?
Well, that one playoff game and done.
See, we call Dallas one and done, meaning they win one and then done.
No,
that's it. They won't win one other.
No,
they're
not going to win anything.
I don't think Rudolph's gonna. I think Steelers. I love Tomlin, so I'm happy that he's got his victories and his winning season again. I just don't think they're going to get past Buffalo in Buffalo with Mason Rudolph.
And
Well,
TJ Watt is not
stranger
playing.
things is
Who
yes.
and TJ Watt's not playing.
Yeah, I know.
So I know you don't like the Buffalo. You're like us. So you rather we won't pick against Dallas.
I gotta pick. I just gotta pick the Steelers on this one.
Now, if the Buffalo wins, that means the Dolphins got to go to Buffalo. No,
There's a lot of. It really depends on who wins the other ones and stuff.
all righty. And then we got the Rams and the Lions. The Lions look good against Dallas, so the defense picked up a little bit better.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Lions on that one because I think the Rams just got lucky getting into the playoffs this year.
Rams are gonna have Stafford back, and they've been playing pretty well. Byron, I know who you're going with, but who you picking?
Who am I going with?
Detroit.
No, I ain't. I'm going with the Rams. They changed up.
No, I thought you were gonna go with the Rams.
No, I am going with the Rams.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you're gonna switch again.
I ain't gonna switch again.
You're gonna go with the Rams. Stafford's coming back. They're playing tough. They're a hot team right now. So and the Detroit's defense hasn't been playing as well as they were in the past few weeks. They did play pretty well against Dallas, though. They played extremely well.
In actuality, if we win,
good tight end, the rookie tight end is hurt.
Looking at
for Detroit. Laporta. No, what's his name?
If we win and the Bills win, we would actually have to play the Ravens next.
Ooh,
really?
I'm pretty sure.
All right, we're moving along. So, who do you got, Eric? The Pittsburgh or not Pittsburgh? The Rams, Detroit.
The Rams and Detroit.
And the
Pittsburgh Buffalo game.
Pittsburgh Buffalo at Buffalo.
Did you have fun?
Pittsburgh.
All right, so he's going the same way you're going, Papa Paul.
Yep.
Except for I got the Buffalo, and I will take. I think the Ram. I think Matt Stafford's going to take him, so I'll take him. I like to see Detroit though, but I hate to say it.
Can I ask you guys a question? And because Victor and even Papa Paul and Coach Byron, did you hear that comment that Ocho Cinco made about the Eagles? Do you feel like that's a true statement?
What was his comment?
This comment was basically they was playing possum, and coming into the playoffs they was going to change everything around.
No.
Did you hear anything like that?
I don't buy into any of that. You don't go a whole month playing possum.
Yeah.
You went a whole month.
I was going to ask you, have you ever seen anything like that done before?
Not going into the playoffs, losing 5 teams. I've seen teams with a not good record going into the playoffs, winning and then storming through it. I haven't seen the opposite.
That year the only thing I could think of was that year that the Giants came
they won their last 3 games.
They won their last. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, we talked about that in the very beginning.
And then Byron even mentioned it. The last game of the year, they played their starters. Eli played. Everybody played.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody played. It was like they didn't lose. They won, and then they went right.
And that's the same year they beat Tom Brady, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So
they had to play an extra game to win the Super Bowl.
So that's the lowest seed that ever won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, them and the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, Oakland was the first. Oakland was the first wild card team to win, and then I think what was Oakland's record that year? They didn't have this many games though.
Real quick though, because if the Bills beat the Steelers and we beat Kansas City, we would have to play the Ravens because we are the lowest seed next to the Steelers.
It's always the lowest seed play the highest, correct?
Yeah.
The lowest seed plays the bye.
Our next game would be against Ravens.
Catch me in San Francisco.
Yep. So Ocho Cinco, no, I can't. I don't think they're playing possum. We were talking about the Eagles again. Like I told you, like I was saying all year. I think just something's wrong. They just haven't turned it on, right? I don't think. I think it's going to be too late. I'm picking the Bucks. Something's wrong. I think two things. I was concerned as later on they were even mentioning it where teams are trying not to give them third. Either get on second down, either get don't give them third and short. Either get the first down, but don't give them third and short. Don't give them the chance to do the Buffalo in the brotherly shove or the Philly, whatever you call it, right? And now they haven't been able to use it as much as they normally have, and I'm just wondering if that's affected them, if something else has affected them. Now you got a couple injuries, and then Byron, So what are your thoughts? Do you think they're playing possum? Do you think they could turn it around in the playoffs?
No, you're talking about an NFL team. You can't just turn the switch on and off. Because they were talking about the tight end, Dallas Goedert, was on the radio. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah,
talking about how they took the last three teams kind of for granted that they were going to win those games. That's just the way they felt. That they hit the rough spot. Okay, well we got these three games. We can turn it back on for these three. And guess what? It didn't work out. And he really shouldn't have said that because they were blasting him for saying what he said. So
but I'm saying, I mean, you probably would have thought the same thing though, Coach. Like. We went through that gauntlet of.
We picked you guys to win.
We did, and we might think it, but we ain't gonna say it on the radio, especially not around here, Philadelphia.
Yeah, we picked the Eagles to beat the Giants. We picked the Eagles to beat our own team. So we were not expecting that, But I'm just saying that. You lose the entire month. Like almost, this is the opposite of Dallas. Dallas is great in December, terrible in January. The Eagles were terrible in January and December. It's hard to turn that flip
and be great the rest of the playoffs. So
that's hard. That's hard.
Then you figure you got AJ Brown you have AJ Brown is hurt. You got Jalen Hurts.
Allegedly, you don't know that.
Who?
He's allegedly
hurt. All right, he's allegedly hurt. You got Jalen hurt his finger in the game. The crooked finger.
Yeah, that was crazy. Did you see that? Didn't I say last week they shouldn't play him? Didn't I say that? I said they should not play him. And then his finger looked like a pretzel.
Well, at least you could have had a good excuse for losing.
No, I mean, he played the first quarter. He got knocked out. That was the first quarter.
He played most of the game.
He shouldn't. Well, he shouldn't even have done that. He shouldn't have let him suit up. But it is.
You gave up like 300 some yards to Tyrod Taylor.
Butterfly
passing.
Is over.
You gave up 400 yards of offense.
Listen, we in the playoffs, man. This is the only time it count now. At this point.
Yeah.
And even if we win this week, who we got to play the week after?
Yes.
You ain't gotta worry about playing next week, man. You guys gonna lose this week.
I like all that confidence on that side, man. For the guys that are sitting on the couch already.
You guys are playing. We can be because we're on the couch. I mean, but we predicted we'd be on the couch. You guys predicted you'd win the NFC East.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, and we predicted we'd be on the couch. We were right on both ends.
Sit in the house chilling.
Yeah, exactly. We won't be in negative 30 degrees. I just think
that's crazy. I don't know. Would you guys go? Are you guys going to go? I mean, would you go if you had the time and the money to do it?
To where?
Just to be able to
Tampa, Philadelphia?
No, hell no. I ain't doing that.
City.
There's nobody impressive that I'd want to see. I'd go to Kansas City. I'd like to, drink some.
What?
I don't drink. I don't know. I like Kansas City. Got good steak.
Yeah, I know. I've been there. I wouldn't go there now.
Tomahawk steak.
I had not slept
somebody.
I laid down.
Eric. Okay. All right. So what else we got there? We got those are all the games we have, right? All right. So then now the coaches. Let's just shout out. Yeah, who's getting the background? Is that you, Papa Paul?
Yeah, my wife's on the phone.
The next morning, I'm like,
He said, yeah.
Yeah, my wife's on the phone. My wife knows when it's Jersey boy time. Okay, coach firing. Let's talk about Belichick. The end of an era. First of all,
that's
Belichick and
crazy.
Saban. Belichick and Saban.
Well, they boys. You know they boys. So
And
I
their
mean,
records and their records are almost identical in college and football. Meaning they got 7 championships, right? Is it 7? Yeah, he's got 7 championships, and they're like 7-2, or they've been in nine Super Bowls.
Belichick is 6,
those two,
6 and 9.
they coached that where together? With the Jets, or was it the
Giants? Or
No,
Was it the
Cleveland
Giants?
Browns. No,
Cleveland
Cleveland.
Browns.
So you had that type of information there, or those guys with all that brainiac of football there, and they couldn't get them over the hump?
They weren't the head coaches.
Who weren't?
Who was the head
No, he
coach
was
of
the
those?
head coach.
Well,
then.
Belichick
He
was the head coach.
Yeah, and then when that's the year before
Remember.
when they moved the team to Baltimore. That's when he was there.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and don't
That's
forget,
crazy.
Belichick, his record is not really impressive without Brady.
Oh my God! You had to throw salt in the wound. Look at that.
Yeah, that's come on, man.
It
You
is
gotta do
what it
that.
is. Go look at his record. He's like 47% winning without Brady.
You got to
That's
do it like
bad.
that. They had to do that.
He on the
All I know
all-decade team
is
as a coach.
Brady
though.
got a ring without him. And
How many?
Belichick
How many rings total does Belichick have? He has 8.
9, right?
he has
He has 2 with the
8.
Giants.
He has 8.
2 with the Giants.
And how many does Brady have?
7. But I'm just
Brady
saying.
has 7.
It's 9, right?
No, Brady
No,
has 7.
7.
6
But
with
who
New
was the
England,
coach,
1
though?
with Tampa.
He was the coach. He was the bus driver driving that bus was Belichick. So people can say what they want. You know, he saw something
I'm one of
Brady,
them.
you know, to put him out there.
I'm one of them.
What? Really, man?
I'm one
You
of
gonna
them.
do him like
Yeah.
that, man? Belichick.
I'm gonna do him. I'm gonna do him like that.
Now, how old is he?
He's 70.
71 or 72.
Is he so?
Yeah.
So how many years
He's
does he have to
50
wait?
Well, he's only got. He got to win 15 games to break the record.
No, I was asking. Does he have to wait? How long does he have to wait before he go into the Hall of Fame?
5 years.
He has to wait till he retires.
I think the
in 5
coaches
years.
are sooner.
Coaches can go in faster. Yeah.
I think the coaches are faster.
But he
Well,
wants to. I think he's going to coach again. What do you think is a good spot? But first of all, look, I do like Belichick as a coach, and
He's from Tennessee.
his defense still played pretty well, even with a lousy team. His defense, his games were pretty close. Most of his games that he lost were close. He wasn't like getting torn to smithereens. But I think he needs a good quarterback, right? And he needs a good.
What you think made him? Well, that's an obvious answer. Him and Saban. That's the reason why they both of them retired because they can't get.
No, Saban retired. I think Saban's I think tired of the transfer portal, the NIL money, and it just.
I think that's got to him.
I think he's just done. He's just tired of that piece. At Belichick, it was time. I think that Kraft and everybody, the problem with Belichick is that he was also the GM, and his GM selection wasn't as good as his coaching abilities. He bet a lot on Mac Jones. That didn't work out. This and that. Byron. What I also noticed is over the last several years, post Brady and just before Brady left, he wasn't doing that rehabbing of these other players from other teams like he was when they were winning Super Bowls.
No, because it costs more money. Because you would have to bring these guys in, free agents.
He wasn't paying none of
bring
them.
them in. So why would you bring a guy in? Nah, these guys. He spent a lot of money in free agency. It was a lot. He spent a lot of money.
Who was the last guy that actually got a big contract?
And he's the GM. And he's the GM, so I think it was probably a defensive
it was time
player.
for him to go.
Yeah,
it was Revis, wasn't it? It was Revis was the last one that got paid.
Nah, not that far.
Or was
not that far?
Or was it Butler?
Brady got paid well.
He let him. Well, he also took a lot less money to sign other players.
Who?
Brady.
Who?
Brady.
Say that again. Oh, okay.
Brady. Yeah.
Tom Brady, man.
Yeah. By the way, he's like 67 to 70% winning with Brady, and he's like under 50% without Brady. So
Still one of the greatest coaches that ever coached the game, though.
I still think he's one of the greatest coaches because his defenses were always great.
Well,
and he rehabbed a lot of good players.
So
a lot.
He
not to
rehabbed a lot
hijack
of
the
good
conversation. Who do you name your top 3 coaches that you ever seen coach in the NFL? Just your top 3.
I'd say Parcells, Belichick,
Super Bowls included, wins and losses included.
Parcells, Belichick. I'm trying to think of third one. Go ahead, Brian. Let's see if you could spit off 3.
Bill Walsh,
Bill
Landry. Tom Landry, innovation, all the things he did.
Jimmy Johnson.
And,
shit.
No, Belichick is my 3.
I'm upset.
Who's your 3? Bill Walsh, Landry,
Tom Landry,
Belichick. Yeah.
Belichick.
Yeah. I say Belichick, Bill Walsh, and Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the resume that he put here together in Philadelphia while he was here, and then what he did while he was there in Kansas City. He up there.
How many Super Bowls he win in Philly?
He won none. But he took him to 4 NFC championships, and he took him to 2 Super Bowls.
Parcells took 3 different teams or 4 different teams to the.
Did he? I forgot. Hold on. The Jets? No, not the Jets. The Giants.
Yeah, the Jets. He had him going until Testaverde got hurt. He had him rolling. He took Dallas was getting there too. I mean, and then obviously
that's when they had Quincy.
And then who else he have? And then then Parcells' coaching tree is probably one of the best.
You gotta be kidding me that all y'all are leaving out the greatest.
Oh, Shula.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don Shula. Don Shula.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's hard to pick 3 because and you got to give Tomlin some credit too. He only won 1 Super Bowl, but he's never had a losing season in 17 years.
No, there's a lot of great coaches. I agree with you.
In 17 years.
But I said only 3. You can only pick 3.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to go through them all to be able to then narrow them back down because then I forgot about Walsh because Walsh changed the game. Like the game that's playing today is Walsh's offense. Is that a fair statement?
That's what you're going to see this Monday.
Would you agree that West Coast offense is pretty much what the league has turned into? Because he had 1,000-yard. He had his running backs receiving for 1,000 yards.
Yes.
And running for 1,000 yards.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to kick Don Shula. I'm going to kick him right now. Okay, when he first got to Miami, they're a mess. They've lost the Super Bowl, then they won 2 in a row. Then they didn't go back to the Super Bowl until '84 with Dan Marino, and then they really didn't do anything until he retired till the end. So he had like a big break between 72 to 72 to 84, where he didn't do.
They're the only team that went undefeated.
Well, he dominated the AFC. The Marino.
Yeah, but they didn't win Super Bowls. How many Super Bowls did he win? 2. 2.
Yeah, 2.
Okay, but that's fine.
What they call Super Bowls back then?
He's got the winningest record of all the coaches.
Yes.
The ultimate test is to win Super Bowls. You can win all the games you want. Like Dean Smith. How many NCAA titles he won down in North Carolina? 2. And had Michael Jordan. He won 2. Won 800 games or whatever he won. 2.
But Michael left his sophomore or junior year, didn't he?
It doesn't matter. Look at all the players that he had in North Carolina.
I understand what you're saying, Byron, but then you're okay. So you're saying Coach Shula is not one of the greatest coaches.
No, he didn't say that. He said no.
That's what you said, Byron.
No, he did not. Byron,
he discredited.
Whoa! I'm going to correct it. I'm making sure we're clear. The question was who the top 3 coaches. That's all he's saying. He didn't say he wasn't a great coach.
Okay, he's not one of the top 3.
Not
to Byron.
No,
that's to Byron. So what? Okay. Because he only had 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
Belichick, Walsh.
Okay, what would you say? Where would you rank Dan Marino then?
As far as quarterback?
As far as quarterbacks? Dan Marino without
winning
the Super Bowl.
Even though he didn't win anything, he's still a top 5 quarterback all time. Dan Marino.
All time?
I don't know if he's top 5. Not my book.
He's
So
top
No,
five.
okay, give me the 4 above him,
I was about to say that. You're like, who?
because you're gonna have Montana's got to be up there.
well,
Watch
Montana's up there to me. Yeah.
Okay,
Brady.
Montana's
Brady.
easy. Brady guaranteed is not up there. That's 2.
Montana.
Okay, Troy Aikman was a great quarterback.
Not
3
even
Super
put him in
Bowls.
What did
Nah.
he do exactly?
No,
Okay,
he was
okay.
he was the
I'm
he was
throwing
the
him out there.
He know how to hand the ball off real
good.
good.
That kid was a good quarterback. Say whatever you want.
Nah.
Jimmy Johnson knew him Jimmy Johnson knew him since he was 14.
Look at his numbers though. Look at his numbers.
Okay.
Average numbers.
Okay.
Nothing about it.
Let's wrap him up. This is your answer. Let's get him out there. Let's go. You got those 2. Let's get out. Let's get out there. Go. You got Dan Fouts put up numbers. If it's according to you, Dan Fouts ain't wasn't nothing either. Dan Fouts lit it up.
Jim Kelly should be up there.
Fran Tarkenton lit it up.
I ain't put
Jim
him out
Kelly
there.
went to 4 Super Bowls.
Nope.
I mean, I can keep going. Patrick Mahomes is going to be there.
Where was I? Tom Brady.
And
the other guy.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
You only got to do 4.
John Elway.
John Elway.
John Ray's only got
what do
2
you
Super
call it?
Bowls, but he went to 4.
What's his name?
And who's the
Peyton
4th one?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning's only got 2 Super Bowls.
Peyton Manning.
But he put up numbers and he won 2.
But Dan Fouts put up numbers. Dan Phillips put up
Dan
numbers.
Marino.
Are we counting
Dan
Super
Marino-
Bowls along with this or what?
Well, I'm
No,
just saying,
why
when you
should
say
we?
great, wait a
You say
second.
great.
But Byron's speaking out of 2 sides, though. When it came to coaches, wait a second. When it came to coaches, Papa Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. When it came to coaches, you wanted to count Super Bowls. When it comes to quarterbacks, you don't want to count Super Bowls.
Yep.
That's
You're
How can
right.
that be?
it's
Oh
different.
my God, how is that different? Super Bowl, Super Bowl. See, you just said he will argue. That's all it is.
That's where I went with the, that's where I was going with the whole
You
question.
can't, you
That's
can't,
where I
you
was going
can't,
with the
you
whole
can't,
question.
you can't degrade, you can't knock a coach
we go.
down for not winning Super Bowls and then up a quarterback and not winning Super Bowls.
Oh, wait a minute.
Quarterback is
Jim
that
Plunkett
country.
went-
And
whoa,
then
whoa.
wait, one more thing. One of Byron's favorite words: the coach doesn't play, the players play.
That's right. It's just
Okay,
wrong.
oh, which one is it?
Yo, that was a good impression.
Whoa, wait a minute. Here. I'm getting ready to shut it down right now. I'm going to shut it down right now. Jim Plunkett won 2 Super Bowls. You think he's a great quarterback? Jim
Plunkett?
won
No.
2.
No.
2.
I thought he was a good quarterback. I don't think he's better than the other top
But he
5.
won 2. He won 2. He won 2 Super Bowls. 2 more than Dan Marino. 2 more than what the other ones I could think of. But
How many Steve Young won?
One.
Only one?
And he only won one because he forced Montana out.
Oh,
And
man.
then-
That's cool.
And
Cool.
then Montana went to Kansas City and took him to the AFC Championship
Yeah, I remember
in
that.
his first year.
That was with Marty Schottenheimer, right?
Yeah.
He's a good coach.
Yeah, but he's another one who never freaking wins.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I said it about Don Shula. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, but you know what? But you cannot.
He about to upset all the Dolphins nations, man. They all gonna be on your show. Like what?
Yeah, you cannot.
And
Hey,
I'm
oh, wait a
again.
second. What about
I'm gonna
Aaron
repeat it again.
Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers has got to be up there. Aaron Rodgers has won MVP.
He got more than one?
3 times.
One.
No, I'm sorry. I don't agree with Aaron Rodgers. I'll put Brett Favre up there before I put Aaron Rodgers.
I wouldn't even put
Aaron
Brett
Rodgers
Favre there.
sat for 4
Many
years
interceptions
and won
through.
2 MVPs, bro. Come on, you got to be kidding me.
How many Super
Top
Bowls?
That's
five,
my
18
opinion.
years.
He won
That
one.
is my opinion.
I get it. No, I'm just saying to you, but when we're talking about it here of all time, here I'm going to do top 25 quarterbacks of all time, and then Aaron Rodgers comes out. But Aaron Rodgers is a baller, and he sat for 4 years.
Overrated.
Oh, stop! You just don't like him.
I agree with
yeah,
you, Byron.
Overrated, man.
I
Overrated.
agree with you, Byron.
You just
That's
don't
right.
agree with
There
his
we
coach.
go.
You don't agree with his coaching selections.
No.
You know,
Hey, I agree to disagree on some things.
No, that's what this is about. It's a debate show, right? I mean,
Exactly. Well,
he
that's
got
we're
most
not
of
a
the
homer.
show, yeah.
We're not a homer show. You notice we didn't mention one giant.
he won.
Not
He
one
won
giant.
one.
We're not even. We don't have a giant in top 10.
No. He won 1 Super Bowl. Aaron, just like Brett Favre only won 1. Both
All
of
right,
them.
so look.
Yo, well, since you guys saw Lawrence
Okay, so
Taylor,
look.
'cause-
So we were right on here. Here's what, at least from the internet, Brady 1, Montana 2. So those were my 2. Number 3. Now they're going old school. Is they got Peyton Manning. So Peyton Manning number 3. So these are new players. It's pretty impressive. And then it gets to Johnny Unitas, right? But that goes back old. The problem is I didn't see Johnny Unitas play.
I saw him.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah.
you saw Johnny Unitas play?
Yeah, Byron played. Byron used to play football.
Oh my God!
Byron
Yo,
played
you
football.
can't never know. Listen, I'm
Byron
gonna get my
played
history.
football. Byron used to play football in leather helmets.
Oh my
I
God!
I'm not
They
that
got
old. I'm old.
They
I ain't that old.
they got Otto Graham as 5.
He won a lot of. He won at 7.
Look, you
championships, I
forgot
think,
Drew
7 or 8 in a
Brees.
row.
Drew Brees is up there. If you're talking numbers
Super
and
Bowl.
not Super Bowls,
Hold on, did Johnny
See what I
Unitas play
mean?
when Night Train
Byron,
Lane played?
but you're going back and forth. Every time I
You
mention
brought it
someone,
up.
you're the one who's bringing Super Bowls. If I mention a
not a-
name, you mention Super Bowl. If you don't like the guy, that's what you do. You don't like the
Ain't
guy.
no
Oh, here, how many Super Bowls do you have? And then when we
1.
tell you about another quarterback, he goes, "Well, he put up numbers." Which one is it?
Can I go back and forth? I'm going to go back and forth because it's my right to do that.
Yeah,
That's
he
all
old
it is.
enough to do that. You should let him slide.
Oh,
Night
he's
Train
funny.
Lane, huh?
I ain't that old.
I got to deflect to my elders. And so they got Drew Brees
Watch it
is
now.
number
Watch
6. They got Drew. They got Roger Staubach was a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
John Elway's number 9. Aaron Rodgers number 10. I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers is a baller, dude. He's got multiple MVPs. He's got 1 Super Bowl. I mean, Okay, you don't want to say it. Number 11. I'm gonna just give you the names they have. They got Sammy Baugh. I don't know who that is. I think you know who.
Terry
Brett
Bradshaw.
Favre's number 5 is Brett Favre. How many have Bart Starr's 13? Troy Aikman 14. I told you, Troy. Steve Young is 15. Eric mentioned Steve Young. Sid Luckman, don't know him. Byron knows him. Terry
way
Bradshaw's at 17, which I'm surprised. Russell Wilson, they got at 18.
No, Terry Bradshaw.
And he just
was
got
a good
disrespected, 2 weeks ago?
Yep, and they got
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger. They got Kurt Warner. Hey, Kurt Warner put up numbers,
Yeah, Kurt Warner was nice back in the day, yeah.
and he started at 28. Ben
he was
Roethlisberger.
bagging groceries.
Yeah, Jim Kelly's up there. Eric, you mentioned Jim Kelly. Warren Moon, Fran Tarkenton.
I'm so surprised that Jim Kelly is not named,
And
even
Austin.
though he went to 4 Super Bowls and lost them
No,
all.
Jim Kelly's there. Jim Kelly's 21. 21. Warren Moon's 22. Fran Tarkenton. 24 is Len Dawson. And
Is
then
Cam Newton on that list?
No, Cam Newton. But
Nah.
there's who did you mention, Byron? That's not on this list. One of the guys you mentioned is not on this list.
Dan Marino.
Marino's not on the list.
Joe Namath's not on there?
Joe Namath didn't really do much other than beat the Colts.
Joe Namath. He's at
He
500
didn't
quarterback.
Joe Namath, he really didn't do much other than predicting it in that time and it being from New
That's it.
York. That's his biggest thing.
Okay.
But
Merging of
Marino,
the
I can't
AFL
believe
and
Marino.
AFL.
Listen to me. I can't believe Marino's not on that top 25 though. Either Super Bowl or not, Marino.
Well, it
to me,
depends
was
on what list you're looking at and stuff. Because I've looked at a list of the top 100s, and Marino was in the top 5 actually. And then
Yeah,
I've looked at
but
I don't know what this is
in the
based on.
top
I don't have
5.
enough. I don't have enough time.
It all depends on who's putting the list out on what you're going to find where.
Yeah, and it also depends on how they're rating it, right? Because if you're gonna rate it on pure, you know what I mean? Because then we could go like the top passing quarterbacks I can run, right? But most of the names we picked was there, but I'm surprised that I'm just surprised Marino's not there unless I missed them. I can't imagine. Look, I may not have Marino in the top 5, but I definitely got him in the top 10. So I mean, I don't know how he's not in the top 25. So, anyways, but that was just coaches. A lot of coaching vacancies. Where do you see Belichick if you were
my
to
goodness.
take a team? By where do you see him going? Where do you see Jim Harbaugh going? By the way, do you know Jim Harbaugh's contract? $2 million of his $2 million of his $5 million contract is in insurance. Just so we know. By the way, that's what I do.
Bill
That's the
Belichick
oldest
to
one, right?
the Atlanta Falcons.
Who?
Oh, I heard that's happening.
Belichick.
For what?
The bad move. That's the
Why?
bad move.
He from Tennessee. I think he's gonna go back to Tennessee and finish his days off down there.
Nah,
That's
Atlanta
not a good
Falcons.
move. Belichick needs a quarterback to win. There's not a quarterback there unless he picks, and then he's going to rely on a number one from the draft. Yeah, like Mac Jones.
Trade.
We'll take him in Philly.
They're going to trade for They're going to trade for Justin Fields, Atlanta Falcons. He's going to end up down in Atlanta. Atlanta's already in that weak division, AFC South or NFC South, and they got a tight end, they got a receiver, they got a good running back. That place is built to win quickly.
I think you should. I think you should go to Chargers.
Trade for who?
Justin Fields.
Who do they have to trade for him? The running back they just picked up?
They don't have to trade now. They just parted. There's no trading.
You trade a couple picks. Yeah.
He's a number one pick, correct?
Yep. They ain't going to get a number one.
I don't think they're going to let him go that easy.
Yeah, they are.
Look,
if they draft a quarterback, which they might, Chicago, they're going to trade him.
All right, so look, guys, I just ran something real quick. Let's go back to the coaches, but I just want to run this, and then we'll go back to that. I ran the top passing quarterbacks, like for passing: Brady, Breeze, Peyton Manning, Farr, Roethlisberger, Rivers, Matt Ryan, Dan Marino's number 8, Aaron Rodgers is number 9, Eli Manning's number 10.
Look at your giant.
So he had 57,000 yards. But this is what makes why Aaron Rodgers to me is one of the top. He's number 9 with 59,000 yards, and he didn't play for 4 years. I mean, look at Stafford's 56,000, Elway 51, Ron Moore lit it up 49,000. Man, Frank Tarkenton 47,000. Palmer 46. Vinny Testaverde's up there with 46,000. This is not the top.
He played 25 years.
Oh yeah, that's true. But he also started late.
Yeah,
remember, he was an old NFL guy because he was like behind Jim Kelly. He was old. Testaverde.
He wasn't that old.
Yeah,
when he started. No.
Yeah, he was in NFL at like 24, 25. Because he played. He was older than.
What college did he play at?
Miami. Yeah, because he played with Miami when they had Jim Kelly, Benny Kosar. When they were producing quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. Flacco's up there, Russell Wilson. This is interesting. We'll talk about that next time. Okay. So so you think Belichick to the Falcons? I think Belichick would be good with the Chargers because he has a good quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good quarterback out there.
What do you think, Papa Ball?
It could be the Chargers, but I am also thinking, I don't know, he could end up in Carolina.
Yeah, but I don't like Bryce Young. He's too small.
That owner.
Is he going to be? I'm about to say, is he going to be able to handle the owner?
That's one, handling the owner, and two. Bryce Young. I'm not impressed with Bryce Young.
And I think there's a car crash waiting to happen.
Yeah, he's too little. He's too little.
Don't disrespect that man. Don't disrespect that man. He's too little. He's too little.
I can barely run. I still can hit him.
Oh my God.
What you call it? But the Washington job is lousy. So, hopefully, I don't know. That's terrible. What else is open? You got Chargers. You got
Did they get rid of everybody over there too?
Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eric Bieniemy on the market too?
No, Bieniemy didn't get rid of. Not yet.
Oh, he's gonna be the head coach.
I'm hoping he's the head coach. But what happens is with new ownership, they go, Seattle's got an opening. Seattle wouldn't be a bad place for Belichick. At this
where's Pete Carroll going to go?
Too far.
He's an advisor.
Pete Carroll's done. I think he's like 72, dude.
He's the advisor and vice president. He's the advisor and vice president of something for that team.
So he stepped down as head coach. He stepped down as head coach. Belichick would be a good place for him. But that's that's too far.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I could see that happening because because if Pete Carroll's still there, Pete Carroll's the defensive mind.
He didn't have a good go when he was down in Atlanta, right? Didn't he coach in Atlanta?
Not in that Super Bowl.
No, but Dan Quinn's defense for Dallas has been great since he's been there.
Yeah, but I'm saying he eventually want to be a head coach again, though.
No, but I'm saying to you though, the fact that he did such a good job as a defensive coordinator to go to a team whose advisor is the past head coach, who's a defensive coach, I could see that
his guy,
and it's his
Where's
guy.
your guy going to go? What's his name? Antonio Pierce.
We don't know. We don't know if the Raiders are going to take him or not. Or
that would be a dumb move not to.
But word on the street that he may come to the Giants as the defensive coordinator.
What?
Yeah.
If he doesn't get a head coaching job.
If he doesn't get a head coaching job. If he doesn't get one, I'd take him as a defensive coordinator. That would be awesome.
Shit, I'll take him.
Yeah.
I'll take him right now. Like,
oh my God, you already want to get rid of Sirianni?
No. We talking about the defensive coordinator.
Oh,
it's either him. We were talking about Wink coming here, but I like when Coach Byron broke it down.
Well, we already got rid of our defensive coach. You haven't, so the likelihood.
Well, no, yes, we have.
You got rid of your no, but you have a new one now.
No. You saying we was talking about Desai. Desai said he's not coming back, and nobody knows Patricia's going to be around
before the playoffs are over.
Yep, he said it last week. He said he's not coming back.
He's
not going to be welcome. Well, he didn't say he wasn't coming back. He's not being welcome back to come next year.
Byron, there you go. A problem there. But you agree that's a problem going to a playoffs and having that going around already.
Most definitely.
That's
they mentioned it last week. It got swept under the rug because of the game.
But that's
what happened in the game.
Oh my God, I don't know. I think that's terrible.
What they should have done was fired him outright, like they usually do. Fire him, get him out the building, and roll with Matt Patricia. As long as you can. Not have the guy get kicked up, into the booth, and he's still around. You just.
Man, you cold-blooded, man.
It's not that.
Stop that man check from coming through the door.
No, he still gets paid.
That's what
he
they
still
do.
Gets paid. But the deal is, Eric, it affects the team. You don't know how it affects. It affects the team. You somebody that is leaving, and it affects the team. You know what I mean?
Big time. Big time.
You don't want to go into the playoffs with problems. And even though it's still
we ain't got no problems over here. I don't know what y'all talking about.
You just told us you got a problem.
We ain't got no problems over here. We made it to the playoffs. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm about to cry.
You got a December problem.
Yeah.
And now you got a Buck problem.
What and done.
You got beat by a Cardinal.
No.
A Cardinal.
We're going to win this game.
A Cardinal, a Giant, now a Buck. All right, well, gentlemen. Papa Paul, any thoughts on the coaching pieces? Don't you?
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
So don't you think that's a problem if that's happening in Philadelphia?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, if we have a coach that said, I'm done after the end of the year, it's like, why are you still here? All you're going to do is be on everyone's mind and what the hell is going on and everything.
Yeah, there's no upside. Like Byron says, get him out of the building.
This is a dysfunctional, functional working family over here. And I refuse that you guys are going to talk about us like this. Everybody's house ain't clean, so don't put our stuff out in the street like that.
Yeah, but you need therapy.
Yeah, we do. We do.
You need some therapy.
Oh my God! Yeah, we do.
He didn't hear this one earlier. Hey, Eric, is it true that Jordan Davis is getting fined every week for being overweight?
No, I didn't hear anything about that. No, I didn't hear that.
That came from Howard Eskin, saying that he's been getting fined every week since the beginning of the year because he's probably about 370 pounds. So every week when he's not where he's supposed to be.
Well, he came in season in shape, and I don't know what happened. If he did, he did start gaining weight throughout the season, but I didn't know he was getting fined every week.
Oh yeah, you get fined. And you know why because he's eating all them cheese steaks. He's probably over at Leo's. He probably at D'Alessandro's. He's probably
he did it. Excuse me. Let me stop you right there. He was at Acme getting the damn chicken. I'm going to tell you where he was getting the food at. That's what he was doing now. Huh? Those
Oh my
they weren't
God.
cheesesteaks. It was all the chicken.
Cheesesteaks. Hey, you want to know what I heard this morning? How great a coach, speaking about overweight, how Belichick was. Damian Woody was talking. They were saying that Belichick's persona to the reporters, and Stephen A. Smith said the same thing, but when he met him in person, it was totally different. But to the media, he just seems like he said would be cold hearted, this and that. Damian Woody, who played for him and won a couple of Super Bowls with him, said that he sent Damian Woody to lose weight, work out to Duke University on Belichick's dime, and would fly in for 3 months, put him down, and would fly in several times to check on him. That's pretty impressive. And he told him, he goes, you got a lot of talent. You can be great. Don't let it go to waste. He goes, and he sent him to Duke University to work out, to get his weight under control, to get into the shape that he would. And Damian Woody said to this day, he'll never forget what the type of coach Belichick was. He goes, his persona to the news is totally different than his persona like person to person. Even Stephen A. Smith, he goes, I was a reporter. I looked at him one way, but every time I was at a Boston game or one of the games or a Knicks game, I see him, man, he was nothing but nice. He's kind of funny. So he goes, it's just, perception to one side is totally different. I just want to bring that up. I thought that was nice when you brought up weight for a defensive player. All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping this up. Paul, thanks for joining us. Eric, thanks for joining us. Good luck. At least there's two people whose teams.
See you guys next week.
Two people's teams that are still in the playoffs. Don't forget to subscribe to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk every Thursday at 8 p.m. What time, Byron? 8 p.m. on Thursday. We're going to continue this playoff run, see what we have, and doing our predictions, letting us know any other changes that are coming up. Papa Paul, can you tell us a little bit about your show and when our fans could see it?
8:45 p.m. Wednesdays, every Wednesdays. Occasionally on, during the season, we're on Mondays around noontime. Other than that, WCFL Dolphins Talk. We're on YouTube. We have our WCFL Dolphins Fan Club on Facebook. We show, and on X or Twitter.
Awesome. And the link is going to be down on the bottom. So if you like what you see, smash it, like the button, go to the show, check out the show. Be prepared because they're all Dolphin fans. Ain't no joke there.
We invite the other team members on.
They do.
Eric's been on there. You've been on there.
They do. Right. But it's a pure Dolphin show, right, Eric?
Yes, sir.
It's a whole squad of them.
I'm not messing with them now because I said what I said about Don Shula.
That would be crazy.
Yep.
Don't let Pam get a hold of you. That's all I got to say. He will eat you up. Miss Pam will eat you up. But Papa Paul, thank you for joining your show, and thank you for inviting me to your show. We'll talk some more as we progress. I'd like to see the Dolphins progress. And let's see what happens in that cold weather. I think, unfortunately, you got the massive energies you have towards this time of the year is going to put you in a tough position. So I wish you nothing but the best. Eagles, I don't see it happen. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. All right. God bless everybody. Don't forget, support our troops with the Wounded Warriors Project. Don't forget, we always put Gravy Stack in our thing, a good educational platform for kids ages 6 to college. And guys, please stay safe. Let's enjoy some more football and stay warm. I know I will.
Peace, love, and fins up, everybody.
All right. Fins up to you guys. Giant Nation, we still strong, baby. All right, good night.
Good night.
Oh, wait, Byron. We got to pick up next week about all right, bye. And we got to end this up, and I got to do my stuff. So, bang.